Welcome everyone to second episode of Van Lossie. Today it's all about camping gear. Let's roll the intro. Okay, so last episode we talked about how we're starting this channel, about the van. Well, quick update on the van. It's delayed. Reason? Brexit, of all things. So Adria decided to speed up their shipment to the UK to do as much as they could before Brexit. And so that means that poor me in Belgium needs to wait a few extra weeks for mine to arrive. The dealer told me it's already been built. It's waiting in a parking lot, probably somewhere in Slovenia, waiting to be sent to me. Now, they promised me it will be here next week. So, today we're talking about gear, because, let's face it, there's no campervan to talk about. So, let's take a look at what you need, or what I've already got as gear for the campervan. Let's start with the first thing, because what's the first thing that you do in the morning? You need to get coffee. So we got a kettle. Now this is far from being a new kettle. Actually, I think it's actually probably much older than I am. It was my grandparents when they went camping when my mother was little. It is therefore it's an heirloom. I love having these things that are you don't always have to buy the new stuff, even though I'm always the one to have the new stuff, but this is an heirloom that is going with us in the camper van. It has a whistle, it works great, and so that's what you need, so that we can make coffee. Now I don't have any specific coffee pot. So you could get one of those fancy coffee pots, but honestly, you got the hot water from the kettle, you got this little thing, you got some filters, you got some coffee, and then you have a thermos to put it in, or one of these fancy ones to take with us in the cab when driving, and that's it. Coffee taken care of. So next up is you want some food. So you need to be able to cook some food. For that, you need pots and pans. So we got this set from I think it's Camping Gas. So what's important to note is, because anything you put in a camper van, your biggest enemy is weight. So these are made of aluminum. It's made of aluminum. And so they're quite light, and it's not only the lightness that you need, because these hubs that you have in the camper van are usually a lot less powerful than the ones you have at home. So you need something that heats up quickly. So we got pots and pans in different sizes, and they all fall into one another, so that's kind of nice. So a second thing that we got for cooking, and this is actually something that came recommended by Sean and Lizzie, and I think Andrew did a bit on it as well, is this what's called the Ridge Monkey. So it's this pan that you can use both separately, but you can put them together, and apparently, let me see if I can figure this out. So when you use them on the stove and you close it, whenever you're cooking, it doesn't spatter all over the place. So it's nice and clean cooking. And so this pan comes with some utensils. I don't know if we're gonna use those because they're kind of small, but go. So we have some pots, we have some pans, we have our coffee. So basically we can make anything that we want. We got some other things as well, like some ladle, some spatula, some big spoons, some things, all in plastic, so it doesn't weigh much, and a whisker. Now, of course, this is one of my another one of those antiques. This was the beaker. So it's like a thermostat. No, it's an insulated cup. I used it when I went camping with the Scouts, so that one's coming along together with the kettle. So then we have the plates, So the thing so these are sort of like plastic plates, the ones that you get for when you have small children. The good thing about these is that they're light, they're hard to break, and they have this what's the English word for it? They have this rubber ring that prevents it from sliding up and down, which is good, because if you have something on the table and when you're driving and you break, it will fly off. It will fly off, and this will prevent it just a little bit. Or if the table isn't set perfectly level, then that would be the same. So we got the whole set. So this is all my wife's doing. So we have some some bowls. We have matching cups. We have the small plates, and we have the larger plates. Then you need cutlery, and for that we're all about keeping it simple. So we went to IKEA and bought us a few sets. These are probably not the lightest ones, but something tells me that we will go through them quite quickly. And honestly, if it's too light, it's going to be useless anyway as well. Right, so we have everything to cook and to eat with, but there's one important thing. Me and my wife definitely love some Prosecco, Cava, whatever you want. And then we have, of course, we need proper glasses. These. And these are actually, again, plastic. So we were joking giving these to my brother-in-law when he comes to visit, because he can't break these, because apparently he broke already a few of our glasses. So these are great because they are very sturdy, they're very light, and they will last. And so, because I prefer to drink some red wine, we also got 2 wine glasses as well. The one thing that we haven't gotten here yet is the actual, just normal glasses for soda and water and stuff. Right, so what else do we have? So that's basically all that's going to be in the kitchen. Moving on to some other stuff. So we got some linen for the bed. It's 2 separate beds in the Adria, so we both will have our own blanket. Mine will be probably a little bit thinner than my wife's, as she's always cold and I'm always hot. So we have those. We have, because usually we're gonna go into the summer, I suggested this one, and we got this little USB powered fan to get a little bit ventilation going when it gets hot into the van. One thing that we also have, it actually was my Christmas present, which isn't necessarily necessary, but it's cool nonetheless. And that's, for anyone that hasn't seen one, it's the solo stove campfire. So if we're ever in a place where we can have a little campfire, do some make some s'mores on this one, that will be great. So that's about it for anything that has to do with cooking. We have some sheets for the bedding. Then next thing I have is this that we bought is the peggy pegs. So basically the van will come with an awning, and the thing with an awning is that you need to tie it down. So it comes with these feet where you simply so you put these down, you run some spikes in them, and then the feet of the awning will fit in here, and they will be tied down to the ground. So what's cool about these things is that it doesn't, so all of these pegs are like screwable, so that you screw them in the ground rather than hit them in the ground, which makes them a lot, so they're stuck a lot better than just hammering a peg in the ground, and they're easy to get out as well. Now the downside to this is if you want to do this fast, because it does come with this hand screw thing, but of course, why do it manually if you can do it with a machine? So what I got for the van as well is this little thing, this little screwdriver that allows me to take one of these pegs and quickly put it in the ground. So I got this. So this is just a simple thing. I haven't decided whether or not I want to take everything with me, like all of the batteries and the charger. We'll see how long it lasts on a single charge. Probably if we're going away for 3 weeks this summer, we'll need a lot more. Okay, so we got the awning set up. We have our coffee made. We have our food cooked. We have something to eat it off, and then I think the next thing that we need is some chairs and a table. So let me take you with me. All right, this is the Westfield Superb 115 table. So there's nothing fancy about it. It's about 70 centimeters wide and 115 long. And the reason why I picked this one is, first of all, the 70 centimeters means that I can put it upright into the van, so it doesn't have to lie flat in order to fit. And I like the dark top, because I think usually these things that are outside for most of the time will get grayish and dirty and whatever. So this will have less of that. Okay, so then let's talk about chairs. So my wife and I couldn't really decide on which one we wanted. Well, basically she wanted this one. So it's what's it called again? Bardani. So basically it's this relaxed chair. It's nice, it's cozy. It comes with this little foot bench that you can rest your feet on. But the downside to it is it does fold relatively thin, but it isn't small. So what I also got, and that's what we've done, so we decided, okay, let's buy two different ones, and I got this one. This is a Westfield director's chair, and what's nice about this one is that it sits fairly comfortable, but it folds up really, really, really small. So it took me a while to figure it out. Actually, someone had to show me how to do it. So it folds down fairly small. You see? That's fairly small. Compare that to this one. Both of them are fairly thin, but as you can see, the footprint of it is just a phenomenal difference. So to be honest, if you don't really care about the footrest, which I absolutely do not, this is actually very comfortable. So I highly recommend anyone that is buying a camper van and looking for chairs, and you don't have much room, because ours has a relatively large garage, but because it's the largest van size that you can get. But if you have a smaller van or a different configuration and you need to have some chairs, but they need to be small, this is really comfortable and it falls almost down to nothing. Now, you know that I have 2 kids, and so we need 4 chairs. So what we decided to do is let's just buy 2 of them, see which ones work best for us on the first trip, and then buy additional ones as needed. So we might buy another one of the bigger ones, or one of these, or one of both. It will depend. For the kids, however, we do have the oldest that got his own camping chair as one of those foldable ones, and for the youngest I still have one of mine which is still folded up that she can use. So once you order your camper van, you can start getting everything that you will want to put in the thing. So remember that weight is your biggest enemy. I think ours weighs ready to go. And that means empty, but ready to go. Ready to go means so the water tank is filled, the gas tank is filled. There's one driver in there. Yeah, I think that's it. Then it's about 2,007 or 800 kilograms. So that leaves us with a few hundred kilograms to work with. Of course, we have to fit in three additional people. And then we have the chairs, the table, maybe some bikes, all of the pots and pans and clothing. So there's a lot of things that you're gonna take with you when you take your motorhome, and so it's important that you keep that weight under control. So that's what we have for the camper van so far. I'm sure that many other little things will be added over time. I'm thinking of several things already that we haven't bought, that we might buy, etc. I'm sure that you guys have ideas as well. So if you have one of those must-have items for your camper van, let us know in the comments below, as well as if you have any questions about any of this, leave it in the comments below and I'll try to respond to it as quickly as possible. I hope the next episode will be the one where we actually pick up the van, and then after that one I really want to do one about how to choose a camper van, and basically how we chose our camper van, because I think this is a question that many are asking and looking for content for, and I know this because I was one of them. All right, thanks for watching everyone. See you in the next one. Bye bye.